Hello and welcome to another episode of BLG News for the week of August 11th. I'm Marcus Boston. Guys, the news is going to be very quick this week. We've got three good stories in the news, and we're going to first start with something that was in the news today, and that is the death of a race car driver. This has been all over the news right now, and how this story is playing out is that Tony Stewart, which is a race car driver, his vehicle struck another race car driver in a race today. And what ended up happening is the driver, which is Mr. Ward, he was the other driver, the driver who passed. What happened is that the cars got tangled up and Ward's vehicle ended up spinning out. Ward then gets out of the vehicle, and this is where things get really bad because the race is still going, the cars are still moving. Ward gets out of his car and he's on the track. Somehow Tony Stewart's vehicle ends up hitting Mr. Ward, and Mr. Ward ended up dying. So you can take a look at this. It's on YouTube, but I'm going to warn you, it's very graphic footage that is on YouTube. Most of the news divisions and most of the news outlets, they have stopped it right at the point of impact. But if you want to go a little further, you can just go to YouTube and the video should be up for you to see. So that is a very, very tragic story that is in the news. The second story that I would like to talk about is one that was featured on Yahoo. And this particular story is for those men who like to drown themselves in cologne. And the question was, well, what is the proper way to put on your cologne? Well, you can go to Yahoo and look at and actually read the story, but the article goes on to show that if your cologne can be smelled more than an arm's length away, then you've got on too much cologne, guys. And that is a big, 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 big issue, because we've all probably been in that. We've been in the elevator and we've been able to smell Bob from accounting, even though he's not in the elevator, but we've been able to still smell Bob's smell in the elevator. The article goes on to say that you are supposed to put your cologne on your wrist areas, and then you might be able, just a couple of dabs on the wrist, you can put on your wrist, and then once you have the cologne on your wrist, you can then maybe touch your neck area. But that's it. It's not the gentlemen who like to bathe in it. So that's a very interesting story that was sent to us in the news. The third and final story that is in the news this week will deal with Restaurant Week. It's Restaurant Week here in DC, and all you got to do is get online and you can find more about this. But there's a lot of restaurants in DC that will be participating in this, and they're going to be running lunch specials for about $20.14 for lunch, and the dinner specials will go up to about $35.14 for lunch. So get on Google, get on Yahoo, and find one of your restaurants that you like to visit and see if they are participating in Restaurant Week. Well, guys, that's going to be the news for this week. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and you know the drill. If you have a story that you would like us to talk about in the news this week, go ahead and send us an email to info@bostonlawllc.com. Again, that's info@bostonlawllc.com. And if it has something to do with what we've got going on here at BLG, we will do our very best to go ahead and get it in the news for you. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and we'll see you next week. Take care, guys.